Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's morning markets on the True Potential YouTube channel. So on yesterday's show we talked about falling US inflation and positives for the economy. Today we're going to be talking about UK GDP and what this means for you the investor. Before that, I just encourage you to subscribe to the True Potential YouTube channel. Coming up later today, a special Do More With Your Money show. It's a Q&A with our Chief Executive Daniel Harrison and a panel of experts. So today, I'm joined by Matt Henderson, one of our portfolio managers.
Hey, Graham.
Matt, the UK GDP, is it good news? What's a verdict on this?
Yeah, so released this morning at 7 o'clock, so bright and early.
Yeah.
GDP actually came in negative this morning, so down very marginally at 0.1%. Slightly better than what consensus was expecting, so market participants thinking that number was slightly lower at 0.2. So as I said, very marginal beat on that. And
better than expectations, so there is some positive there. So just to explain a bit more about UK GDP, what it is and what it means for our investors.
Yeah, so GDP is the economic growth within an economy or a region, built up of many different components. So if I just run through a little bit of the breakdown within there. So if we look at some of the services numbers, they fell, so they're down 0.4%, and actually services itself is built up of many different subcomponents, and actually the biggest fall or biggest negative contributor to that fall was actually human health and social care, which really that's all involved with the things to do with coronavirus that we've seen this year, so things like track and trace, the vaccination programs as lockdown and the economy's reopened following coronavirus. Those measures have stepped down, so that's actually fed its way through into the GDP numbers.
Yeah, so that's something we'll continue to monitor. Just on the US inflation and the positives from that and the markets, how have the markets been? Have we continued to see positives in equity markets?
Yeah, so market performance from yesterday, just start closer to home, Europe and the UK. Europe up 21 basis points, so slightly better. UK's fed a little bit worse, down 55 bips. Over in the US, market performed pretty strongly the day before, so took a little bit of a breather yesterday, down 7 basis points, so call it flat. But actually what's interesting this morning was looking at the performance from Japan, up 2.6%. Looks very big move.
Yeah.
Really, Japan was on national holiday yesterday, so it's just playing a little bit of catch up from other markets that we saw reacting to the US inflation numbers that we saw this week.
And what other stories have you and the team been looking at? Any other things to report?
Yeah, another one linked to US inflation. We had PPI, which is the Producer Prices Index, and we were seeing similar themes to what we saw with the CPI print this week. So PPI came in at, on a year-on-year basis, 9.7%, still a high number, but once again, importantly, lower than market expectations. So that was at 10.4, so softer print than what we thought. It's quite interesting as well, though, if we look at the numbers on a month-on-month basis rather than year-on-year, we actually see a negative 0.5 fall. So we're actually starting to see prices fall in the US. Similar print or similar feeds in the print that we were seeing in CPI, where the big contributor to that fall is actually the fall in gasoline prices. So they're down 16.7% within that index.
Yeah, so just looking back on the week as a whole, I mean, for me as a client, it's felt like a good week. Felt like we've had a few more positive stories. Has it been a good week in general?
Yeah, equity markets have taken that softer US print very well, starting to think, are we starting to beat inflation? The interest rates that we've seen globally come through from Fed, Bank of England, ECB, other central banks like that, actually starting to reduce those inflation numbers. So markets starting to think, are we going to see a turn from central banks?
Yeah, so that's all good. So we'll see what next week brings. We'll be back here on Morning Markets unless there's anything else you'd like to cover. Or
no, nothing from me,
Graham. All done. A good week. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Thank you, Matt, for a very good Morning Markets today.
Thanks, Graham.
And again, I just encourage you to subscribe to the True Potential YouTube channel, the Do More With Your Money show, live later this afternoon, a Q&A, an excellent episode of our Chief Executive, Daniel Harrison. So thank you very much. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.
If you're interested in taking your investing to the next level, or would like to know more about the options available to you when you retire, then download our free guides to ISAs and pensions. These are available in the video description below.